It's the time of year when many of us will revisit childhood tales of wonder and make-believe, and in so doing, avail ourselves of some basic truths, no matter how old we are. Belief in fairies is not something many will take literally, except for the very young and endearingly innocent. And yet there is such wisdom in tales from this mysterious realm, including, and this is our subject today, the unforgettable scene in Peter Pan, where Tinker Bell lies dying, her beautiful light fading rapidly after ingesting poison that Captain Hook had intended for Peter. On discovering her limp body and realizing what has happened, Peter turns to the audience, pleading for our help. "She's going to die unless we do something," he earnestly implores us. Clap your hands and say, "I believe in fairies, I believe in fairies, I do, I do." Peter leads the cry, repeating the phrase over and over. And as he does so, and by the power of what scientists like Rupert Sheldrake now call morphic resonance or non-local consciousness, or what once upon a time was simply known as magic, the cry ripples out across space and time, so that very soon Wendy and the lost boys hear it on the pirate ship where they are being held captive, and they boldly add their voices to the throng. "I believe in fairies, I believe in fairies, I do, I do." And the cry gathers force and travels yet further and further, until eventually it breaks through the boundaries of Neverland itself and is heard far away in London by Mrs. Darling, who sits by an open nursery window, longing for her children to come home. And without knowing or even caring that it sounds so ridiculous, she adds her voice to the rest. "I believe in fairies," she cries aloud. "I believe in fairies. I do, I do." And strengthened by her voice, the magic gathers momentum, like a prayer, crossing all known boundaries, breaking out from the seeming confines of the story itself to include us all, the readers alone in their bedrooms, the children sitting in the theatre at Christmas time, and those sitting beside them as adults, remembering and reliving the moment, and together and as one, young and old, everyday and storybook characters alike, the miracle of healing is performed. I had a dear friend who, as a child, went up to London every year to watch the production as a special treat. She remembered until the end of her days the deeply empowering thrill of shouting out and clapping her hands in the sincere belief that her efforts were causing Tinker Bell's light to grow brighter and brighter until she was restored to her full shining self. This lovely friend went on to be a successful psychotherapist, astrologer, and beloved friend to me and to numerous others, all of whom remember her uncanny knack of making us all feel really loved and really valued, as if in some mysterious way She had carried on her childhood belief that such things were indeed possible, and that by giving us her love and her special focus, we could literally begin to shine. And sometimes this is all it takes, just one person to see and to celebrate our unique light, and we are in a different world completely. It's so easy to do the opposite, to hurt, to judge, or to administer the poisonous potion that will literally drain the life force out of someone. Peter could have left her there to die, knowing she deserved her fate. For in truth, even pretty Tinkerbell had her shadow, and was awfully jealous of his love for Wendy. And yet, at the same time, she truly loved him and was prepared to sacrifice her own life to save him. Peter understood her in all her complexity and with all her mixed-up emotions, and he still loved and still believed, enough to ask the whole wide world to help bring her back to life. And in so doing, he showed us the way, the very special way, to keep that which is light in ourselves and within others alive and shining too. Because in the end, as the story tells, and this can be taken on whatever level you choose, it's not just Tinkerbell, but all fairies whose existences are threatened when we don't believe. For every time a child says, "I don't believe in fairies," somewhere there is a fairy that falls down dead. So let's all keep on clapping our hands whenever the need arises, and crying out as loud as we can, "I believe in fairies, I believe in fairies, I do, I do."